Hey,
Hey,
where are you from, cowboy?
I'm from the BBB Ranch.
Woohoo! Well, we'll tell you more next on Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time. The BBB Ranch is actually Berries, Brews, and Barbecues starting this weekend out at French Prairie Gardens.
And later on in the show today, I'm going to be talking to Katie about this wonderful event that happens every year.
And coming up in the show today, we'll be showing you how Douglas Fir makes a great adult beverage.
We're also going to be showing you some drama queens of the garden.
But first, a castle wall in downtown Portland.
So it's delightful to be back here at the Japanese garden. I'm here with Erica, and Erica, it was not so long ago that we were talking to Lisa about this beautiful new wall that was being installed, and there was nothing really here yet.
Right.
To see it firsthand, what I created in my mind about how it would look isn't real. This is breathtaking.
Super impressive, and you can even hear some of the workers working behind us still. So while the wall may be done, the rest of the construction won't be complete and open to the public until April 1st, 2017. But the castle wall is done.
Yeah.
It's 20 feet tall and 185 feet long, and it's just so impressive when you see it in person.
It is, and there's a rich history about this wall from Japan. Tell me about that.
So it's, we found a 15th generation stonemason who has been doing this his entire life, and his family, and many generations before that, obviously 15 generations. And the uniqueness of this wall is that no cement is used when it's built. So each stone goes in and it's strategically placed, and then the smaller stones, I'm going to reach down and get one. So something like this, this smaller stone is placed in here to stack the rocks like building blocks and to hold it in place and to withstand earthquakes and last for many more generations.
And I know I am not the only adult male who is going to try this. I thought, oh, I'll just pull one of the, they don't pull out.
Yeah, you asked me that. You're like, can I climb this? No. But yeah, it is. It looks, it's just so impressive. And they're just in there, and they've used the specialty tools and put it together. And the stones were picked from Eastern Oregon.
Oh, nice.
And they have sort of a blue hint to
they're
them.
Beautiful.
And that's called Baker Blue, and from Baker City, Oregon, and kind of shimmers. And when you can see it closer up, you get a better view. But the stones were picked and hand selected by Sada, our main, the head of our garden here. And then we've got the stonemason came out from Japan, and they worked together and picked out the stones. And from the time the stones were picked to when they were placed, 6 months.
Oh my! And see that to me,
So
once
quick.
you look at it and you see it wasn't done by machinery, you go,
Right.
"Wow, that was really a lot of fast work to get finished."
know.
But there's so much other things still happening. So let's take a walk over here and we'll go to another
Great,
place.
yeah.
Okay. So now, Erica, we're still close to the place that we were, but this is really where the whole crux of all of the big changes are happening and still occurring, right?
Right, and we have this inside look, which is super cool because a lot of the guests that come visit the garden, which is
They don't
still
get to
open,
see
they don't
this.
get to
Yeah,
see this.
yeah.
So, we're going to have a tea house. This is going to be home to a library and gallery spaces and
much larger spaces compared to what's there now.
right, on a much larger scale, opportunities and a chance for the public to really experience all of Japanese culture and learn. We'll have a library and gallery spaces and lots of interpretive stuff happening, and just a really neat expansion that allows sort of the tradition, the Japanese tradition, to be passed on and people to learn a lot.
Yeah. Well, I've always kind of thought that nature itself teaches us, especially if we allow it to. And what a great opportunity for people to learn about a whole nother nation with such a rich history about how nature has taught them and what they do with it.
And Japanese gardening is, it's not easy to be trained in that. It's not something that a lot of people know and are familiar with necessarily here in the United States, especially. So what a cool thing to be able to share with the public and our visitors who come to the garden. So.
And although people cannot see into this part yet,
Right.
the entire rest of the garden is open as for business as usual.
Right, our 5 gardens are open, and we have information on our website, JapaneseGarden.com, about the Cultural Crossing project. But it's really, the gardens are untouched, and we encourage people to come still visit, but once they come on April 1st, 2017, that's our grand unveiling of this part, the expansion part.
So we're still looking at not quite a year anymore, but just several months still in advance before we can really come up here and enjoy this place when it's finished.
Right, and it's going to be so nice. We actually have a living roof that we're going to be talking about too, and maybe we can talk about that in the future, but it's like succulents that'll be growing on the rooftops,
so cool.
and the gardeners will be maintaining
and great water
it.
features are
Right,
being added
water
too.
features and just such everything you think about, but in a LEED space, so environmentally sound and just great in this space.
And that's important to say too, because this is LEED, all of this will be LEED approved.
Yep. LEED certified and really a leader in, and just works so well with our space and what we already have going on here at the garden.
Well, those of us who love Portland love it for so many reasons. One of the reasons I love it the most is I'm standing in it right here at the Japanese garden. So for more information on everything that is still currently happening in the rest of the garden and for what is going to happen in the future, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to a couple websites you can visit, get all that information. Erica, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
So, it is that time of year when a lot of us start seeing all types of ants, not only outside in our gardens, but inside as well. So we wanted to offer you a few products that you might be able to use to help stop that kind of problem. Now, this one right here is the one that kills the most amount. It has a lot of different ants, including carpenter ants that it takes care of. It isn't really for indoor use though. You just take it, it's a granular, and you sprinkle it around the entire perimeter of your house. That puts up a barrier so they don't even get in to start with.
And if you are finding ants inside, sometimes right by your kitchen sink, you can use some of these products. Now, these are relatively natural and organic because they contain borax, which is a mineral. And these are tested by the companies. We have one from Taro and one from Bonide. And they are just like little traps. You open them up and put them right where you're seeing the ants, and they take this liquid right back to their nests and destroy the nests. And then you could also make one by on your own, and it's borax and sugar and water, and they'll also take that right back to the nest. And the difference between making your own solution and using the ones on the market, these are tested by the company, and they're going to be more reliable than the one you make on your own. You might have to do more testing, and maybe you won't have the results that you want.
So the bottom line is this: whether you want to try making your own, whether you want to buy an already ready-to-go product, or whether you want to start at the outside and work your way in, we offer several solutions that can help you contain the ant problem at this time of year.
2 stages, 22 shows, one sweet weekend. The 24th Annual Oregon Jamboree, presented by South Pacific Auto Sales, is bringing you the biggest show of 2016. Carrie Underwood, Toby Keith,
Let's have a party.
Randy Houser, Old Dominion, Chase Bryant, and so many more. July 29th through the 31st. Tickets on sale now at OregonJamboree.com. Presented by South Pacific Auto Sales.
Spring is here, and now is the time to bring spectacular colors and fragrance to your garden. Farmington Gardens can help you succeed in any corner of your garden. From hanging baskets, container gardens, veggie starts, water features, or something truly unique from our gift shop. Farmington Gardens brings colors to life. Open every day, just a short drive out Farmington Road. Farmington Gardens, we're growing for you.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside, there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
I'm out here at Fringe Prairie Gardens, and I'm here with Katie. And Katie, there is a wonderful event that starts today. Let's talk about that.
That's correct. It's our annual Berries, Brews, and Barbecues event.
Oh, that's wonderful, yo. So this is an event which really does celebrate strawberries a lot.
It does. It does. It's a chance for people to come out and you pick strawberries. We have over 10 varieties of strawberries that we grow on the farm.
Clearly, Judy loves her strawberries.
I think so.
But it's a great event for family and friends to come out because there's all kinds of things that happen besides the brew and the berries.
Very good.
And the barbecue.
Yes.
What else is happening?
Well, it's all minor friendly. Everywhere that you can drink, your kids can be right next to you, which is very
nice.
important for us.
Yeah.
Me being a mom of a
Yeah.
6-year-old and a 4-year-old. But also there's a lot of fun. We have our barnyard, unlimited barnyard and music wristband, which is $5. Includes our giant slide, our tube slide, our tire piles, farm animals, live music all day long,
Wow.
tractor wagon ride, pig wheel train rides.
So if you buy that wristband, then that's
it. Yeah,
That's
you can
it.
slide as much as you want, ride as much as you want, and have as much fun as you want here on the farm.
And I'm going to assume that people will be able to either pick or buy picked strawberries
That's correct.
already.
We will have fresh picked already in the store, and then we have $10 U-Pick buckets that they can buy, take the tractor wagon right out, and pick their berries out in the field.
And then let's talk about let's talk about the barbecue. What's going on with that?
Yeah, we have great barbecue here. We have pit chicken that we're going to do. We have
Nice.
barbecue plates, which have tri-tip, pulled pork, ribs, and then we have amazing sides. We have our deep fryer going. We have deep fried strawberries,
fun.
onion rings, you name it. And strawberry everything, shortcake, iced tea, lemonade.
And then of course, lots of brews.
Lots of brews. We have 12 different breweries and cideries, so we'll
Nice.
be representing over 20 different kinds of brew and cider.
And so many of those are really local places.
Very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is local. Anywhere from a small little guy grain station in McMinnville and Ordnance Brewing, which is up and coming, to Hot Valley and Woodmere will be here as well.
Now, because of it being such a warm spring, the berries are kind of limited this year.
They are. They started a little early this year, so we've been picking for about 2.5 weeks. So, and we have some longevity left. We have some later varieties, and we still have Hood Shuxtons available.
Nice.
If you come out this weekend, but the longer you wait, it is 3 weekends long.
Yeah.
The berry selection and the quantity will just kind of go down.
And then there's a great thing that you guys are going to be donating to. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we're going to take part of our proceeds and they're going to be donated to M's Fight, the foundation that we formed in my sister's memory, who died
Yeah.
of cancer a few years ago. And what our foundation does, it just supports local families fighting cancer with
Wonderful.
whatever they need, whether it be a wig, just extra money, a trip, just something that a lot of foundations don't support.
Sure.
And all of our money, 100%, goes to our recipients, and there's no administration fees or anything like that.
That's
So,
perfect and
yeah.
wonderful. And then, of course, you guys have still beautiful hanging baskets and a lot of plants.
We
that are-
do. We do have a great selection of hanging baskets and annuals and perennials, and I'm sure we'll have some sort of sale going on during that weekend
I'm
as well.
sure you will too. So, this is a great event. It's fun. It happens every year. So if you want some strawberries and you're looking for some good family fun, go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website and you can find out all the information and pick the day that you're going to show up. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
cheers,
Katie.
William.
Cheers.
Well, I am at Subaru Days at Capital Subaru with Carrie Casebeer, and thank you so much for having us out today. It has been so much fun.
Thanks. We always enjoy having you. Every year, it's a great success.
It is. And so we're walking around and we noticed this wonderful container that's actually a certified wildlife habitat with the Federation. And it's like, what a cool idea.
Well, Subaru loves to do things each month to give back. And this last month was Subaru Loves Earth Month. And so they created these wildlife habitats for the monarch butterfly. The monarch butterfly is having some real challenges nowadays. It used to be doing well, but in the last 5 years they've decreased by about 90% due to changes in landscapes and changes in the farmlands in Mexico. So by putting in milkweed and habitats, water, it gives the monarchs, as they travel north, a place to rest, have their babies, eat. And so we have this one here, and then for the last month we've been giving away milkweed seeds to everyone.
Wonderful.
And Subaru of America has been really pushing that across the nation to try to encourage more habitat.
Excellent. And it's not just monarchs that will use this.
Right.
A lot of different bees will use it,
Yes.
hummingbirds,
Yeah.
which is so cool. Even maybe some other birds will come to the little waters feature here.
Yeah, and it's nice when you can have everything together. So there's a place for them to seek shelter, there's food, there's water, there's places for them to hide. So creating a planter with all these different things in it really makes it a great place for them.
And Carrie, that's not the only thing that Capital Subaru does. You do so much for our community.
Well, we do. We enjoy giving back. That's part of the joy of being a car dealer, when we can give back to our community. So we have a perfect location right here by a lake. We've had the Audubon Society out here for meetings and lectures, and they just love to come out and watch the birds. And we're going to have a stand over here soon where you can kind of see what kind of birds will fly into the lake. They're helping us with that, so that'll be really neat. And then also we do a lot with the Humane Society here in town, and Subaru of America has a program from late November through January where they donate $200 for every car, new or used, sold, and you're able to designate that money to a charity. And we have done the last 2 years the Humane Society here in Salem, and last year we were able to give them $33,000. Wow. This year a check for $40,000. So that's been really great. So it's all about giving back to the community and, you know, making the place you live a better place. So.
It is. Well, you know, if you're thinking about having a Subaru, or you just want to come out and check out this beautiful area, come out and see Carrie and her staff at Capital Subaru in Salem. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming again.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
I've been a Capital Subaru customer for 15 years, and one of the main reasons is because they treat me well and I want to shop local. The service department is excellent, and I always feel like I'm taken care of here. In fact, they call me now even after I've driven off the lot to remind me to come in and get my car washed. That's service. One of the reasons why I like coming to Capital Subaru, actually, they have the dog area, and I can just walk my dog around the whole area and we can enjoy the outside. I got it my way on the Parkway.
At French Prairie Perennials, we take pride at being different. From rare, unique, and unusual plant material and handcrafted garden art to our visualscaping program, we can help you create an outdoor living space as unique as you are. Our gift shop has home and garden decor and gifts for all occasions. Visit us at our new location in Aurora, a quick drive from Portland off I-5. French Prairie Perennials, outdoor living elevated.
In the summer months, water use can double or triple due to outdoor watering. Here are 3 simple tips to help save water and money this summer. Set your sprinklers so that they're watering your lawn and plants and not the pavement. Water early in the morning or later in the evening when temperatures are cooler. Group plants with similar water, shade, and sun needs together. For more water conservation information and tips, check out the Regional Water Providers Consortium at www.conserveh2o.org.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall. Join us for Berries, Brews, and Barbecue, now happening 3 weekends in June, featuring Oregon craft ciders and brews and barbecue. Enjoy barbecue. You pick strawberries, hay rides, live music, and much, much more. It's farm fun for the whole family at French Prairie Gardens.
I am out in the garden nursery this morning with Carol. And Carol, we're actually out in the display garden. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And really, you can stroll around here and see, you know, big size plants, and then go through the nursery and see the little ones to take home. It's really something to see what it'll do in the garden.
Exactly. That's why we have the display garden.
And the roses are beautiful, alliums, columbine. It's really a nice time to come and see everything. But we're going to talk today about some of the plants. I think, Carol, you're so animated when you talk about them. It's like the drama queens. So what is a drama queen plant?
To me, the drama queens are a combination of bold foliage and ones that sometimes are a little weather sensitive. On a hot day, they say, oh my gosh, it's too hot, I need to be in the shade. And as soon as it cools down, they pop back up and they're fine.
And you know, I think we talk about drought tolerant plants a lot, but sometimes you have that neighbor that waters too much and it comes on your property, or you have a sprinkler that's on a lot and you have a wet area, or you have your own spring that's kind of a seasonal spring. So really, these are the plants for that.
They absolutely are. So here we have a whole bunch of ligularias. I have probably 8 varieties. Cool. I just love them. There's big ones, little ones.
Most of them are summer blooming. They're just amazing foliage plants.
And so this one is called Rocket, and now they have, for smaller size gardens, we have Little Rocket.
Little Rocket. So it's about half the size. It's an amazing bloomer. They're blooming about a month and a half early, but that's
early.
okay. They normally are mid-June to into July, but beautiful little bright yellow flowers, which is also nice for a shady spot too, to have some summer color.
Definitely. And this dark foliage Ligularia, so much difference between the two, but they're actually cousins.
They are. This is Britt Marie. They have a little different flower. They're gold daisies. They tend to be more moundy versus the other two are more upright. They're just wonderful dramatic plants. Britt Marie in a little more sun is much more dark color like this. In the shade it fades out a little bit, but still has this really deep, vibrant color.
And there's one that's a kind of variegated one here. It's kind of got cream and green and burgundy. That's a gorgeous one.
Yeah,
really a lot of different textures for that one family.
There are. And then there's the other cousins of this too. They used to all be Ligularias. They're now Farfugiums. They tend to be a little thicker leafed. They're not quite as winter hardy. I like them as container plants. If you protect them a little bit from frost, put them, under a cover or in a lightly heated greenhouse, they'll be evergreen and they're amazing container plants.
And then there's a variegated one too. Really a pretty shape, this kind of broad oval one, very nice. And then I love acanthus, and I think that I love them because I've been traveling, and when you see them in the in Italy or in Spain, it's kind of fun to see them, but a really old-fashioned plant around the world.
They are, and they're wonderful. This is just a little baby one. I have some amazing, gigantic ones in my garden. It's one of my husband's favorites, so it's all over our garden, but they make that big statement, and that's why you get these drama queens, to make a statement, say, hello, come see me.
And they have a cool flower. It kind of looks like a delphinium or a foxglove.
Yes.
And that's later in the summer, too.
Yeah, it's usually midsummer.
And then what is this one? That's
so this
really
is one of
pretty.
my added to my drama queens. It doesn't have the super bold foliage that some of the other ones, but it's one that I often use as an indicator plant in a bed. This is it's an Artemisia giju. It tends to want real consistent moisture, just like everybody else, but she'll tell you when she's dry. So often, like when a bed is dry, this is the first one to wilt, get very dramatic, call your attention, you water everybody, she perks right up and it's fine.
Ah, that is good. And then, so this one, we don't recognize this too much when it has leaves, so what's that?
That's right, yeah, it's an Edgeworthia. Most people see it at the winter sales in full bloom. They have those amazing fragrant flowers, and then people don't realize what it looks like in the summer, and it's this wonderful, big, bold, tropical looking foliage. And so I thought it'd be a good one to point out because it is still many seasons of interest, not just the flowering.
Ah, nice. And then that gold foliage plant, that's really interesting.
That gold one, that's an Aurelia Sun King. This is a young one. It's so worth it. Takes it a few years to get size on it, but it's amazing. It'll hold this beautiful bright gold color even in full shade.
Wow, that's really a beacon then in a shady area.
Yes.
Really will brighten up that corner. And then what's next to that with the big
The next one
leaves?
is a rheum. It's a Tangudium, so it's a ornamental rhubarb. And it's another one, sun to part shade, but it's also, that again is a baby. The foliage will get 3 to 4 times bigger than that. It's very dramatic, but again, it wants that consistent moisture. And it's another nice one too, like the Ligularias. It can go sun to part shade. It's pretty flexible.
Carol, I really like this one. Look at that new foliage. It's got like a bronze tone to it. So pretty.
This is a Regersiae. This is Hercules, so it's big and strong. The leaves will be 5-6 times bigger than what they are now. Makes these huge, beautiful mounds, big, tall, kind of a stilby-ish pink flowers in the summer. It's really a dramatic, wonderful plant that says, come look at me.
Ah, very nice. And then we have like a vine here, which you just don't think about using a vine sometimes.
Well, the reason I added this to our drama queens is that this is a hardy fuchsia. Most hardy fuchsias are upright. Well, this one wants to ramble. And I have found it's actually more than just a drama queen. It's actually a tough one. It's really amazing. I've had it in a spot in the garden that's actually pretty low water. It's done beautifully. It's not a real heavy bloomer, but it has this beautiful, big, large foliage, and I just love it. I think it's just a wonderful addition in any garden.
Really nice. Well, I think we have a lot of things here to kind of consider for our garden, for that one space that might be a kind of a troublesome one. You have to come to out in the garden and maybe have some time here that you can just stroll around and enjoy this environment and this beautiful display garden. Thanks so much, Carol.
Thanks, Judy.
Welcome to Drake's, not your ordinary garden center. Grab a cup of coffee at Antonio's and wander the nursery for the perfect plant. Check out the landscape design showrooms for ideas, then meet with a designer. Come pick out a bouquet of flowers for dinner or for that someone special. Find something distinctive for your home or your garden. Imagine the possibilities and let Drake's turn them into realities. Drake's 7Ds on Southwest Shoals Ferry Road in Portland.
Standards prices are great. We've checked, they're very competitive. That's why we use them.
You don't have to waste time running around making phone calls. It's good to know when working with Standard that our staff doesn't have to spend incredible amounts of time searching for pricing.
And even with the clients that have checked around, they've always come back to Standard as being their best buy.
Since 1947, we set the standard. Standard TV and appliance.
Create this year's containers and baskets with Black Gold natural and organic potting soil. Don't trust your edibles and flowers with a potting soil labeled organic. Look for the OMRI listed logo on Black Gold natural and organic potting soil to be sure it truly is organic. Look for earthworm-enriched black gold at your local garden center or go online to blackgold.bz. Black Gold, all the riches of the earth.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
So I'm out here at French Prairie Perennials and I'm with Rick, and normally when Rick and I talk, we talk a lot about conifers because you have such a great selection. But today we're going to switch it up a little bit and we're going to talk about the beautiful colors of some of the deciduous trees you carry.
Right. I mean, when you think about it, when you have some trees out there that are flowering, generally they last for a short period of time. So why not use a tree that has beautiful foliage color so that you can have it for 6 or 8 months of the year, and maybe one that flowers with it so that you get more bang for your buck.
And so you've picked out 4 of these that we're going to talk about specifically.
Right.
So let's start with this stunner right here.
This is an Acer pseudoplatanus, which is called Esk Sunset, and it has all different variegation on its leaves. Native to the Esk Valley of New Zealand, that's how it got its name. The unique thing about this tree is the pink side on the underside of the leaf.
Stunning.
You can see each leaf has this bright pink color underneath, and when the sun hits it, it gives, because the leaves are so thin, it gives kind of that glow, that pink underneath on the other side of the leaf. Fall color on this will be orange, more of an orange color, but it'll retain some of the pink underneath, so you kind of get that bicolor.
And I have to say that you are completely correct with the sunshine, because some of these ones that have more of the variegation almost look like stained glass. They're absolutely stunning when the light hits them.
No, it's a beautiful tree, and you get the foliage, like I say, you get the foliage for a long period of time. Now, it is a larger tree. So you have to be careful about that. It's going to be 25, 30 feet over a period of time.
But
it's not a super
what
fast
a beauty
grower,
that would be, though.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's a very beautiful tree.
And my cousin adores pink, so I'm sure that she would love this one. Tell us about that.
This is a Japanese maple called Rainbow. And your new growth is always going to be this bright pink.
Stunning.
You'll also get some variegation in the leaves, so it's kind of unique in that not everything's uniform. Older growth is going to kind of have a little bit of splash of pink in it, but more of this wine color. And if it's in full sun, you'll get a little more red than a wine color, but yeah, it's a very beautiful tree. If you keep it pruned, you continually get that flush and new growth, so you continually get that pink.
Nice. And then I'm assuming that the pink then will change as that hot pink color will actually get a little darker over time.
Absolutely, absolutely. As it starts to grow out, then you're going to get this like you have here with the variegation a little bit, and
stunning.
And or some of them will even go to a completely blank wine color. But for certain times of the year, you can't beat it, and in the fall, you get some really brilliant color on it too.
So it really covers all 3 of the seasons completely.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, I've grown accustomed this year, and one of my favorite things in planting is to do a lot of white and very light colored blooms. This kind of sings to me even as a leaf, though.
Right. No, this is a beautiful tree. It's a dwarf hedge maple called Carnival.
Nice.
And you'll get some pink new growth in the spring, but the wonderful thing about this tree is, one, it'll grow in the shade.
Oh, okay.
If you have them in full sun, they have a tendency to burn a little bit, so you'll want to give it some shade. Morning sun, afternoon shade is a really good good area for this tree. But the great thing about it is it only gets 6 to 8 feet tall.
Oh, nice.
And then it'll have an equal canopy on it. It's kind of a mushroom shape to it, but it's a beautiful tree because if you do have a shady spot, it gives you that bright, bright, bright color that a lot of people are looking for.
And I would think at that size, it would be a great tree, small tree for a container too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's not a super fast grower, so you can keep it in a container for a good period of time. So
now I'd heard you mentioned blooms, so I'm going to guess that's on this wonderful dogwood next.
That's right. This is a cornucoscusa called Summer Gold. And so you get the typical dogwood flower, which is a white flower on this one. Flowers will get larger than they are now as the tree gets more mature. But the great thing about this tree is you get that green and gold foliage all summer, and occasionally you'll get this where it has a little splash of red in the leaf.
Now, is that natural, or does that come from it getting more sun than it used to?
That's just natural, and it does it sporadically. The great thing about this tree is that when we get to fall, you're going to get a lot more of that purpley red in it.
Really?
And along with the gold and the green that it has in it. So it has a really, really nice fall color also.
So then you're going to get more of this color on this.
Correct.
And, oh, that's beautiful.
Correct. But you get it sporadically this time of year too. You'll get some of that red that mixes in with it. So you get 3 colors on it. But it's a beautiful tree, and most dogwoods, when they're done blooming, they're just kind of nondescript green.
Just green leaves.
They are what they are. This gives you a lot more bang for your buck and gets some brilliant color for the rest of the summer.
And I would think that even if you have a little shaded area, this would even be better because any of those light colors draw our eyes into the darkness of shade. So
absolutely.
That'd be really great.
Absolutely.
And all of these are, when you say, something special, it seems a lot of us think, well, that's going to be difficult. But these are all pretty simple to grow in the garden, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, they're tougher plants than you think. All of the 3 trees I showed you prior to this one were a zone 5.
Wow.
Carnival is actually a zone 4. So it's a very, very hardy plant. It's just that people don't see it a lot, so they get kind of worried that it's not going to be hardy, but it's like the conifers. They're very, very hardy.
Yeah. Well, at Garden Time, we love all kinds of plants, perennials, annuals, but if you're thinking to yourself, I'd like some color that maybe isn't a tree form, you should come on out here to Rick and see this wonderful nursery. And to find out the directions and how to go to his website, you can always go to gardentime.tv. Thank you so much, Rick.
You bet. Thanks for coming out.
You're welcome.
Well, it's a beautiful day at Washington Park at the International Rose Test Garden. I'm with Harry, and Harry, you have one of the best jobs. You're the curator here.
Yes, I do. I'm very fortunate.
It's wonderful, and we're standing right by the Garden Time Rose from Heirloom Roses, which we're so proud of, and we're so proud that it's here in the garden.
Oh, it has to be. Why wouldn't it?
So you actually do test roses. I mean, that's one of your missions here.
It is. We're one of the official test sites for the American Garden Rose Selection, the American Miniature, and then I evaluate roses for 6 different other companies.
Wow, so how many this year are you testing?
I couldn't even tell you. I haven't counted how many.
Wow.
But all this, and then up at the tennis courts.
Wow, wow. And so if you're testing some new ones, that means some of the ones that aren't performing go away.
Yep. And it's exactly what happens. Out they go. The idea of this garden is to come here and find the newest roses there are. Everything that's current on the market.
Ah, and is there a list that we can see? Like, say we want to get those brightest and best.
We'll have it on our website, for the Park Bureau website, and it's on the kiosk up here. And the garden store will have a list that people can carry.
Ah, so really you have to come out and see all these lovely roses and just kind of pick some new ones for your garden, and maybe you'll even get the Garden Time Rose this year. Thanks so much, Harry. It's just gorgeous.
Thank you.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
Your center for home and garden decor, Garden Gallery Ironworks has everything you need to make your home a showcase. For the inside, we have a great selection of Kelly Ray Roberts items, and our farmhouse style department is full of one-of-a-kind gifts. For the outside, we have arbors, trellises, planting beds, and garden decor. Everything to make your neighbors jealous. Check out our new website and then come visit us in Hubbard. Garden Gallery Ironworks.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
We all work very hard, and at the end of the day, sometimes we like an adult beverage. Well, did you ever think of an adult beverage with our state tree Doug Fir? Well, I'm with Daniel from Clear Creek Distillery. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, how are you?
And what do you do there?
So I'm the production manager at Clear Creek Distillery, so I manage the fruit incoming, the ripening of the fruit, the crushing of the fruit, fermentation, and the distillation of the fruit into brandies.
But this isn't fruit, this is a Doug Fir, so why are we standing in front of that?
So actually, we take the Doug Fir buds and we pick them when they're nice and green, bright, fresh buds off the tree, and we use these to make our Douglas Fir brandy. And it's a great spirit. We pick these buds into a clear spirit. It steeps for about a week or so. We take that, we redistill it into a clear spirit, and then we pick back into it for the color to get this bright green Doug Fir color.
Well, that just sounds delicious, but I think it sounds cool, but really it sounds very unique. Did you guys come up with it?
Actually, in the French, that they have done all kinds of things with distillations. They have done something like this before using a pine, which is, the Douglas Fir is a cousin to the pine tree. And since being in Oregon, we have this great resource of Douglas Fir trees, and we'd like to bring that tradition to Oregon and use the Douglas Fir buds.
So what are you looking for when you pick the buds?
So actually we're looking for the new growth of the Douglas Fir tree. As you can see, it's a bright green Douglas Fir bud, just the fresh tip. It's a nice citrusy note.
I can smell it,
yeah. It's a great
addition. So we're going to pick some buds and then we're going to go back to the distillery and show you the process. All right, so like this one, right?
Yep, that's right, just like that.
Well, here, Daniel, this is what we picked over for the fir tree. Are we going to add it in?
Yeah, so we go ahead and dump these Doug Fir buds in, right into this tank, into a clear spirit, distilled from an Oregon wine, local wine we distilled ourselves in our stills, and we add these Doug Fir buds to it, and the spirit will extract all the color and flavor from the buds. And this is actually the initial process of making a Doug Fir brandy. So here we'll let it steep for about a week or two. Then we'll take this product and we'll pump all this into our copper pot stills over here.
But how do you know when you're ready to pump, it's ready to go?
So actually it's all sensory here, craft distilling, so everything's done by sensory. So we sample it, we taste it, and we just kind of know that the flavor is right where we want it to be when it's ready to be distilled.
So it's party here all the time. So and so now this machine is really cool.
Yeah, so this is a copper pot still. It's a made in Germany, Arnold Holstein pot still. It fits. We pump the spirit with the buds into the still. The distillation process takes about 2 hours. Small rectification to get the purity, the aromatics, all come through into the clear spirit. It comes across, and here's a condenser, and it condenses into just a little trickle of a clear spirit, a fresh, bright, citrusy Doug Fir aroma comes off of the spirit.
But how do you get that beautiful color? Because I saw what the finished product looks like. So how do you get the color?
Right, so the second part of it is we go back, we take the spirit that's clear now, and we take it, we store it in a stainless tank, and we pick new buds into it. So we'll go back up, we'll pick a second time to get that nice, bright green color.
That is nice. And so let's go over to the tasting room and we can see the finished product.
Great.
So this is the distillery tasting room, so we have to taste. So what am I looking for when I'm tasting?
So in the Douglas Fir brandy, you can taste some nice citrusy notes, some Doug Fir as if you were walking through the forest, You can really get those nice notes, forestry kind of notes, and also kind of a light fruit pear note.
It is really delicious. And you know, it's kind of remembering Christmas time too, because the Doug Firs are our Christmas trees. But you don't want to wait just at Christmas time to drink this, because you can drink it any time of the year.
Yeah, and it's nice, light, refreshing, like a gin and tonic. Make a regular gin and tonic and just a splash of the Douglas Fir eau de vie in it, and it's nice, great in the summer.
Yeah, and I see that you do so many different flavors. About how many do you do?
So we do over a different dozen fruit brandies, and we also have a line of grappas and cordials, fruit liqueurs. But our brandies is what we really focus on, and it's all made from Oregon-grown fruit, and also our apples actually come from Washington, the Yakima Valley. The pears come from the Hood River Valley. We get Bing cherries also from the Hood River Valley, blue plums from Oregon, and Mirabelle plums, raspberries, and we also have the liqueurs, which are all different kinds of berries, marionberries, raspberries, a cranberry, which is a great local cranberry fruit that we make a cordial out of.
Ah, you don't think about cranberries at all.
No, you don't.
It's nice that you're here for us. You're just local people, that you're really using all the bounty of Oregon. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But if you have any other questions about where to find Clear Creek Distillery, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website, and you can stop out 7 days a week and come and try some of the delicious spirits. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
Spring is the time when minds turn to a vintage flea. Stop by Margie's Farm and Garden and see tons of handcrafted gifts and unique vintage items. There are treasures that will please everyone in the family. Reclaim a vintage item that will become an instant heirloom in your family. We have tasty treats while you shop, and we will have 30% off all our flowers too. We will also be offering classes where you can make a handcrafted gift that you can take home. We'll see you at A Vintage Flea.
Since 1926, Bonide has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Worried about mosquitoes ruining your barbecue? With Mosquito Beater from Bonide, your worries are over. The Mosquito Beater products kill all stages of the mosquito life cycle. Protect your family and enjoy your summer with Mosquito Beater. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
William, it's the time for the Oregon Jamboree.
Yeah, I could tell that from the cowboy hat.
You think? It is time for the Oregon Jamboree, happening in Sweet Home, Oregon at the end of July, and we have tickets to give away.
And it's really easy. All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv, send us an email on why you like Garden Time Television or why you like Garden Time Magazine, or both.
And we'll pick the winners from those entries at the end of June.
Good luck, everyone, and yeehaw!
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Join us for Berries, Brews, and Barbecue, now happening 3 weekends in June, featuring Oregon craft ciders and brews and barbecue. Enjoy barbecue. You pick strawberries, hay rides, live music, and much, much more. It's farm fun for the whole family at French Prairie Gardens.
Well, it's that delicious time of year. It's berry time, and I'm at Smith Berry Barn with Rich. And Rich, everything is early this year. Unbelievable.
Weeks early again this year.
Crazy. So strawberries are done, and we're already into raspberry season.
Correct. Yeah, this is a variety called Cascade Dawn, and we're picking these now. It's the earliest one we start picking.
And really, when you want people to come out, you pick. You want them to pick the best, the
Correct.
most fresh, or the most flavorful. So what are they going to look for when they come out?
So you see a lot of different stages of red there, but realistically you want them to come off easy with one finger and a thumb. So if that one like pops off, and then like these ones are, even though you want the darkest color, so that one's really another day it would be perfect. So you just kind of go through and they should just pop off very easily. And if they don't come easily, then you don't.
You leave them.
You just leave it.
Leave them for the next person, leave it for the next day, because they're not going to ripen on your counter.
Right. And you're going to be happier with ripe fruit.
Yeah,
it tastes
definitely.
so much better.
Well, that's why you come out here to do that. I mean,
Correct,
you don't want the ones that are tart, and I don't think too many people like tart ones.
Exactly.
Well, let's go out to blueberries because that's going to be coming on in another couple weeks. So let's go out there.
Sounds good.
Rich, now these already have blueberries on them, but are they ready to pick?
Not ready yet, but they're looking to be early again this year.
And what variety is this?
This is a variety of blueberry called Duke.
And so how do we pick blueberries? What's a good tip for that?
So blueberries, you kind of tickle them with your hands, and if they're, I mean, you really shouldn't have to pull because there's different stages of ripening there too, and these obviously aren't ready, but if you put your hand there and just touch everything, when a ripe blueberries, it's just going to all fill your hand.
And put it right in that bucket.
Correct. And usually it's like the whole cluster is going to be ripe, so it's a lot easier to do. These still have another week or two.
And really, you guys help so much because you have tips right on a website for us about when to come out.
Yeah, it's we update that daily. Has picking tips, care tips, so you can check that before you come, so you kind of know how to pick and ask us here too.
And so really a good time of day, you were saying to come early because it gets so crowded, sometimes you're out.
It does get crowded, so even if you plan on coming in the afternoon, you might want to check before you come out, just depending on availability. If we're busy and it gets picked pretty heavily, and your fruit's going to be better in the morning anyways. It's had all night to cool, it's had all night to ripen, so it's just an easier time to pick in the morning.
Good flavor then.
Yes, yes.
Well, really, this is a great place to come for many different kind of berries. So get your calendar out and get your family ready and go to the website. Go to Garden Time. We'll click you over to Smith Berry Barn and you can see what day to come for the best berries of the season. Thanks so much.
Great. Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, it is getting to be hydrangea time, and the best person to come and talk to is Kristen from Hydrangeas Plus. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, fine. And so lovely samples here. So today we're going to be talking about the changeability of hydrangeas because many of them you can change that color with just a little bit of work.
That's right. They are pH sensitive, and it's actually the aluminum that's absorbed in an acid environment that will change the pigments from pink to blue or somewhere in between.
Right.
And some varieties are better at absorbing it than others, but most varieties, if you buy it as a pink or red, you put it in our acidic soil with our abundant aluminum, they tend to be more blue and purple.
So it would be difficult to get that if you really want it. You have to put it in a pot then with potting soil?
That's always my best recommendation. That way it can't absorb the aluminum. It can be an acidic environment, but aluminum is so mobile in artificial media. And we water so much with Mother Nature helping a lot, it just washes right through the pot. So that is the best way. You can try garden lime, straight garden lime, but you really have to stay on top of it because it will wash away.
Oh, sure.
Especially in our spring rains.
But it's kind of fun to play with because you might get different kind of colorings.
And maybe one side of the bush pink and one side of the bush blue if you want.
And then there's so many different pretty flowers, like this one here, it's called harlequin.
Harlequin, yes. This is a pickety is what we've been calling it, with the pink or blue or purple.
Okay.
With a white edge, a little bit more of a compact grower, but very, very decorative, very fancy. And then I've picked a couple of my other favorites.
All right.
This is actually Decatur Blue, both of these. I just wanted to show you the different colors depending on what aluminum is absorbed. This is Decatur Blue in a container, so it's more pink, like a blush pink or a baby girl pink, I call that. And then here's Decatur Blue in the ground, and this has only been in the ground a couple years.
Wow.
And it's already starting to absorb the aluminum, and it's working its way to blue.
Right,
it's kind of that in between right now, I call it blurple, that mixture between blue and purple. But I love this variety, an early bloomer, as you can see.
Really nice.
The serratas is also one of my favorite family. They are pH sensitive as well.
Oh yeah, look at there's pink and blue.
Yes, pink and blue. We do add aluminum in our mix, but it usually is washed away. But the serrata family is great for early color. These are usually in full bloom in May.
Wow.
Whereas new wood blooming are usually end of May, beginning of June. And then the old wood bloomers are a little bit even later, so more towards middle of June.
Wow.
Beginning of June, but we were a little early this year.
Right.
So this is another one called Enziandum or Genetian Dome.
So pretty.
Yes, but it can really be a nice dark blue. I don't have a good picture for you of the dark blue, except for on the website, but this is just one that was grown in a pot that had a little bit of aluminum, a supplement to it.
But it's so pretty with the two tones. I mean, the eye is kind of bluish purple, and then to the pink on the edge, that is really pretty.
And a lot of them do start out kind of this greenish white, but then as the pigments develop and the pigments get darker, the petal fills in. So by mid-June or late June, that whole petal will be dark, dark blue or dark, dark purple or dark, dark pink, whichever one you'd like to have. But I love that variegation in the middle.
And really, if it's going to be a dark coloring, it's going to be a dark coloring. If it's going to be a more pastel coloring, it's going to be a pastel coloring. You can't change that saturation of pigment.
Exactly, saturation. That is that's the best word I can think of. If you want the lighter colors, pick a lighter colored variety. If you want the darker colors, darker colors tend to be the old wood bloomers. Not always, not 100%, but the French hybrids and some of the new varieties that bloom on the old wood that have that rich dark color. That will never be a light blue.
Ah, right. Well, I think the moral of this story is you need a lot of different hydrangeas in your garden.
Yes, everywhere.
All different colors. And you can have them for a long time. You can have them from early May all the way into fall.
Correct.
Because they hold their flower so long.
And
so
some of the other families that bloom later too,
Right.
like the paniculata varieties.
Definitely.
They're not blooming until June, or late June, early July.
Right, right. Well, I think that is just lovely. I could just see all the hydrangeas in the gardens. It's just so pretty. So if you have any questions, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to Hydrangeas Plus. They have a wonderful website, lots of information, but better yet, come out and see Kristen and get your answers all right there.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah with Portland Nursery, and I'd like to invite you to check out our website where you'll find valuable gardening information that you know is local to our area. Check out our gardening solutions page where you'll find over 100 helpful brochures, or sign up for our email newsletter to receive timely gardening advice, inventory updates, and upcoming classes and events. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people, on 50th and Stark, 90th and Division.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
At Euro American, we search the globe in order to find fantastic plant material for gardeners at all levels. We then search out local retail centers, like Bauman's, in order to provide that material to you.
One of our favorite new introductions is the Balsamic Blooms Basil.
It grows flavorful leaves and blooms simultaneously. Use it in the landscape or in your kitchen.
It's delicious either way. Find this and other great new introductions at Bauman's Farm and Garden.
Don't you just love all the things inside Garden Time magazine? So much great information about gardening.
I do, William. There's new plants, adventures, recipes, local gardeners, home tips.
And it's free, right in your email. But there's 2 things you left out.
What's that?
You and me. We write some of the articles and get to share our gardening knowledge.
Of course. I should have... William, where did you go?
Right here, Judy. You'll find both of us every month in Garden Time magazine.
Sign up for your free subscription on the Garden Time website.
So I'm standing here with our good friend Kim Foran, and normally, Kim, when we're together, we talk about flowers and how arrangements are made and stuff like that, right? However, this is your home, and it is on a tour. First of all, tell me the name of the tour that's happening.
Portland Modern Home Tour, and it features 7 or 8 beautiful, restored, modern homes and apartments. And it's this Saturday from 11 to 5. And remember, I moved from the east side because I was born and raised east sider to the west side, so I had to make up for it,
Everybody
right?
can make changes, can't they?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is take a brief little tour of this now, and as we go in here, this is the front entrance, right?
Yeah, so this house is designed by Robert Rummer. It's 1966. And he was an architect that was inspired by Robert Eichler, who designed a million beautiful homes in California, kind of light-filled, beautiful, atrium-inspired homes.
And really simplistic designs.
Yeah, really simple, gorgeous, focus on light, air, kind of living outside, inside. And you know, you and I are obsessed with plants, right?
It's true.
I mean, we're obsessed. So I caught wind of these houses. I had no idea what they are, to be super honest. And I realized that these houses have dirt in the living room.
Which is your dream come true.
Yeah, so this room right here is the atrium. They feature a lot of aggregate in these homes, a lot of floor-to-ceiling windows, skylights. You can see that I've kind of had some tropical plants in here.
Yeah.
I filled it with gardenias and kind of lots of texture and ferns, and I have dirt in my house.
You finally got your dream.
I know.
Also, one of the things that I think is so cool is the design itself is clever, because although there's glass everywhere in this room, tell me about the two that aren't glass that can come down.
Yeah, so this is kind of a greenhouse-ish room because I have little vents on the sides that are pieces of plexiglass, so when it gets too hot or I want to bring the temperature down, I can just open that up.
That is so
So
clever.
it is kind of like a greenhouse, and I sit in here, read the paper. I mean, it's kind of like outdoor inside.
And they are known too for, let's walk into the kitchen here, they're also known for having so many sliding glass doors, and really, I mean, it is floor-to-ceiling glass.
Yeah, and if you remember my house before, it was all painted, you know, like chocolate brown and hot pink and all these colors. This house is all white.
Yeah.
And it makes the artwork look so beautiful.
So what I really love is that this modern, simplistic design really goes throughout the house, even into the living room. It just is carried through the whole place.
Yeah, it's a really simple floor plan with basically a big rectangle, bedrooms off the side, this big open floor plan. It has concrete heating, radiant heat in the floors. And I noticed that the dogs were laying like this, and I couldn't figure it out. And they were laying in the coils that are submerged in the
so
concrete.
funny. And tell us about what you heard about when they built them, what they gave the people to put in the garden.
Oh, for gardening, but we'll have to look at our manual because I got the manual
so funny.
from 1966 and the deed. But when you moved into this home, you got a load of rocks and either a maple tree, a fir tree, or a magnolia. I got the magnolia.
And it's stunning. It's still here.
Yeah,
It's
should we
really
go
beautiful.
peek at the
Yeah.
living room?
Yeah, let's do that. So now we're in the living room, which is another sliding glass door right out to this beautiful back area, which is a stunning patio. So I know that people, Kim, are going to want to see this because it's so uniquely different. They can buy tickets at every front door, right, of the
Yeah,
tour.
they can buy tickets directly at the door. Remember, the hours are 11 to 5. You can check their website, Modern Home Portland, modernhometour.com, or Garden Time's website.
Wonderful. So there you have it. Go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the website. Be sure to get the tickets and come out and visit these stunning homes, which are a piece of history, yet still modern. Thank you so much, Kim.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Garden Time today. Hey, William, you got your hands full. Want me to hold your beer?
Oh, no, thank you. Now, the Berries, Brews, and Barbecue event is happening for the next 3 weekends out here at French Prairie Gardens. For more information on all the happenings out here, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website.
William and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Garden Time. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Need some help there.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.